Hi everyone, welcome to the first video of this series where I will be teaching you JavaScript from scratch. So this video is going to be the introduction where I have first taken you to the browser console and shown you how JavaScript works there, and also tried to explain you a little about data types in JavaScript. And then in the end of this video, I have created files, that is index.html, main.js, that is JavaScript file, and then CSS file, and linked those all the three files. And with the help of this, I have tried to show you like how JavaScript can add interactivity to our web pages. So this is how I have introduced you to the JavaScript. So I'm looking for your suggestions from comments and Instagram DMs and from wherever you can reach out to me. So without wasting further time, let's directly jump onto the tutorial. So here we are inside our Chrome browser. If I right click anywhere and click on this inspect, then here we have opened our dev tools. Now here on the top you can see elements, console, sources, network. So we have different tabs and some are here. So out of all of them we have to just click over this console and here we will write anything. So right now we are inside the browser console and this is just a playground where we can write our JavaScript inside the browser quickly without creating any additional file. So when we have typed here anything and pressed enter, then you can see here we have this error, uncaught reference error. Anything is not defined. Okay, so now we have typed something that browser is not understanding. Let's type something that browser should understand. Ultimately, we have to type here JavaScript. I know a little JavaScript. That's why I will type something that browser should understand. Let me type here console. Okay, now we have a lot of suggestions. So here I will write this console.log. Okay, now up to this part, JavaScript is understanding everything. And now if I again write here this anything, then if I press enter again, then you can see whatever I have written, this anything is not defined at anonymous and it is showing the line number as well. Okay, so now this console.log is something that JavaScript is understanding. Now instead of writing this anything here, I will write here some number. Okay, let's press enter. Now JavaScript is able to recognize that whatever you have written inside the console.log, it is a number, and number is some data type that JavaScript understands, and that's why it is able to print onto our browser. Now, if we try to console log some other data type, let's try that as well. Console. Here you can see we have a lot of suggestions. This time we will utilize this info method. Okay. So console.info, and let's type here a data type that this browser should understand. And this time I'm going to take the data type as Boolean. So let me type here true. Let's do it with false. Let's press enter. Now this is the data type that browser is understanding. Now let's try to do this again with some other data type. And this time I'm going to utilize the data type string. Okay. So here we have this string data type. Okay, I have pressed a lot of time this one. Now here I will write this subscribe to spexycoder. So till now at this moment, if you have not subscribed, then there is a request that please subscribe to this channel. I am planning some really good content for you guys. Okay, now here we have this string data type. Earlier we were using Boolean, and before that we were utilizing this number. And before that we were doing something that JavaScript is not understanding as a data type. So that's why it was showing some error. Now if I press here enter, then you can see we have this string printed onto our console. All right. So right now we are not creating any separate file, but inside the browser, it is able to recognize that we are writing something which is the part of JavaScript. So browser says, yes, this is something that I understand. So I will run this code for you. That's why it is able to run this code. Now what we have just seen, that this console.log is a feature inside the JavaScript language that prints a data type onto the console. So if JavaScript is able to recognize that user has typed something which is of certain data type, then JavaScript will say, okay, I understand this data type, so I will print it inside the console. Okay, then here we have this Boolean data type. JavaScript is understanding that, so that's why it is able to print. In this case, JavaScript is not understanding what kind of data type it is, so it is not printing it. Okay, so this was number, this was Boolean, and this was a string. So here our console is now filled with some data. We can clear it. If I just click this icon over here, then you can see clear console, or Ctrl+L you can do. And we have one more like JavaScript feature that we can utilize to clear the console, that is console.clear. Okay. Now if I hit enter, then you can see console was cleared Nothing is there inside the console. Now let's try to do some more hands-on in JavaScript. So what I'm going to do here, I will just create one variable. Okay, so let a equals 10. Another variable I will create, let b equals 5. And here I will write this console.log a plus b. Now those who don't know what I have just done here, you can understand it as a simple mathematics. To a we have just assigned 10 value, and to b we have just assigned 5. And then this is for printing into the console, and here we are printing a plus b. And if I hit enter, then you can assume the output. So here we have the output as 15. So here we have done a basic calculation. Now, if I just write here this type of, and if I write here a and hit enter, then you can see the type of is not defined. Why it is saying that? Just because JavaScript is not understanding that I have typed. So let me try it again. And this time I will utilize these suggestions. So earlier what I have used this camel case. I have written here type of, but this does not exist inside the JavaScript language. Okay. So let's go back and just write here type of, and here I will pass this a, and let me close this. Here you can see also we have already displayed here as a number because inside a we have assigned a number. So now we have created here a variable with the help of this let keyword. So in JavaScript, if you want to create a variable, if you want to create something that should store data inside it, we have to utilize this let. We have other keywords as well. We have where, we have const as well. But this time for some specific reasons, or maybe there are no reasons, I am just using this let. Okay. Now here's the same thing I am doing with this b. Okay. Now let's remove all of this. Let me type here let first name. Okay. And to this first name, I will write here my name, not the real one, but the screen name. Let's keep it as Spexy, and I will write here some space as well. Okay. Now the last name here I will assign coder. Okay. All right. And if I just write here console.log and this first name plus last name. Okay. So we can add this type of data as well. And this type of data inside this quotes is known as string. Okay. In JavaScript, we know this as a string data type. In other languages also it is string, but specifically for now, just keep it yourself to JavaScript if you are learning it. Okay. But usually this data type is known as string. This data type is known as number. Another data type that we have just seen in the form of true and false is known as Boolean. Yeah, 3 for now is enough as we are starting out. If I hit enter, you can already assume that first name plus last name should be Spexy coder. If I hit enter, you can see that output also is Spexy coder. We have the output. Now, if I just utilize this type of, and if I write here this first name, okay, sorry, first name, if I hit tab and press enter, what? Okay, I'm doing and repeating that same kind of error. So type of, not coming into the suggestions. Anyways, I will write here type of, and simply I will pass here this first name. So here you can see this. In the end, we have this string. So let me hit enter. So here we have this string as the data type for this first name. So we have seen some features of the JavaScript already. We learned a little bit about how we can create the variables. Variables are something that we create to store data inside them. For now, inside this first name variable, we are storing this Spexy, and this a variable we are storing this 10, and in a similar way we can store in other variables as well. And if you want to print the combination of both of them, then we can see here we are using this addition. Okay, so in the case of these strings are the data type, then we are concatenating those strings. So this is a programming term, and in this case we are doing here addition because both the data types are of numbers. When we add one number to another number, that is known as addition. Like basic stuff that we can do with any programming language, we can do with the JavaScript as well. But initially when JavaScript was invented, it was not just to do this stuff. Okay, the purpose of JavaScript coming into existence was that interactivity into the web pages. Now, if I show you this MDN docs here, then you can see JavaScript is a scripting language that enables you to dynamically updating content, control multimedia, animate images, and pretty much everything else. Okay, not everything, but it is amazing what you can achieve with a few lines of JavaScript code. So as we go ahead, we will understand more about the JavaScript in detail. And now it is the time to create a separate file. So here we are in our JavaScript folder. Now if I right click here and open this terminal, and if I write here this code, enter, then here you can see we have opened our JavaScript folder into one IDE, that is VS Code. So let's close this one. So just after this video, I will create one video that will be on how to install VS Code onto your system. But the steps are very simple. Just go onto the Chrome and search for VS Code and install it for the Windows. So I will create here a new file. Okay. So this file is going to be there for HTML. So index.html file. I will create another file, main.js. So JS is the extension for JavaScript files. So I've created that file. Now I will not spend much time onto this HTML. Here I will connect my JavaScript file. How to connect that? We can use this script, okay? And just simply write here src, and yes, let's navigate to our file, that is main.js. Let's press Ctrl S for it. And inside this main.js, I will write here console.log. Let me zoom out a little bit, okay? And here I will write JavaScript is working. Okay, let's save this and come on to our this file and right click. We don't have one option here for which we are looking for. So let's go on to this extensions and search for live server. So live server will like set up a development local server. So install this extension, launch a development local server with live reload. Okay, so this will help us to like whatever the changes we will do here, they will immediately reflect. But let's do it without that for now. So if I go here you can see we have index and then main file. If I directly click on this index file, then here you can see in our browser this file is opened. And if I just right click and inspect and go into this console, then you can see JavaScript is working coming up here. Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's keep it into this one, and here we will open our VS Code. So let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, now instead of this JavaScript is working, I will write a new change. Okay, let's save this. Now it is not live reloading, as you can see. Okay, so let me close this for now. And if I just go here and right click on this, here we have now the option for open with live server, because we have just installed a live server extension. Now let's click on it. So it will open on Chrome tab or whatever the default browser that you have. Inside that browser, it will open some URL. So our development server is now running. Now let's keep it aside and right click here, go on to this inspect. Let's remove the concept of right clicking. Just press F12 on the keyboard. And here you can see we have this change. Okay, so it will directly open the console for you. And now I will tell you how it is live reloading the things. If I write here this spexy coder and press Ctrl S, then you can see it is now live reloading everything. Okay, now let's go to our index file, and here I will write some code. Here I will write a button. Okay, let me give it a type also, button. Okay, so here you can see this is coming up. So here I will write this player 1. Actually, I'm writing this code with the help of that MDN docs. They're on the same web page that I have opened earlier. The same code is written. Okay, so I'm just following that. You can follow that too. If you want to learn in-depth things, then there is a suggestion that you should start reading those documentations. First, they will look like overwhelming to you, but trust me, after some time, you will say this is like very, very good decision, wise decision of your life, if you are a coder developer or want to go into this field. Okay, so now we have created here a button. Let's save. So here we have player 1, Chris, and let's do some copy paste the CSS as well. So how we will write the CSS now? So just do one thing. Create here a new file, styles.css, and write some code over here. again the copy paste I am doing, and here I will link my CSS file. So link CSS. Here we have already got this styles.css, but the right way is // and then some suggestions coming up and pressing the enter. Okay. So now here we have some cool CSS also. And now I am also pasting some JavaScript here. Okay. So let's replace our old JavaScript with the new one that I have copied from MDN docs. And this is just to show you what JavaScript can do. Okay. Let's go. So let's first save it, and I will click this button. Here you can see we have a prompt. Okay. I will write here a new name. So I want to involve you guys into this. So you are going to be the future developers, coders. Okay. So I will now press this OK button. Then you can see player 1, developers and coders. So now we are updating our name dynamically here. And this is just a start. JavaScript can literally do more than that. Okay. So here you can change the names. Okay. All right. So this was it. Please let me know inside the comments if you have really enjoyed this video. I'm not going into the theory stuff, but I will encourage you guys to go on to that documentation part and try to understand this stuff by yourself. This was it. I will see you into the next video. Till that, how I can make it more meaningful for you guys. Also, everything in the future videos also, and in this video also, if you need all of this code, then GitHub repository link will be there inside the description of this video. I don't think it is required, but anyways, I will put it into that description so you can see that. If you have really enjoyed this video, then there is a request that please share this video with your friends. Don't forget to drop a like, comment on this video and let me know what are your views on this and if you have any suggestions. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I will see you in the next video. Till that, bye. Take care.